Okay, this is tutorial 2 of the Onshape tutorials, teaching you how to bring an image into the modeling environment. So in the previous tutorial I showed you how to import an image into Onshape library, which we can now use to import into the modeling environment to trace over the top. So I created the previous modeling environment, I'd labeled it seahorse image. So I'm going to select seahorse image, and it brings you into this modeling environment. Now, of these 3 planes you can see on your screen, if I were to remove the taskbar, you see these 3 shapes. Basically all this is asking is it's got a front view, it's got a top view, and it's got a side view or a right view. We need to select which one of these we want to work on. So to deselect, you just click on them again. We are going to select top view. So you're going to click and drag and hold your finger over until it highlights yellow. And that's to say we want to bring our image in onto the top plane. Now, if I wanted to change my view, up the top right, you see this cube. I can click on the cube and it tells me which view I want. We're going to go straight to top, and it's as though we're looking right above that plane. So it's selected. Now, up the top left, you see these 4 icons. You've got 2 arrows, an undo and a step forward. You've got a pen and a circle. So we're going to select the pen, and that brings up a menu. We want to insert image. So 4 rows down, near the right, you see the insert image. It's asking us what image we want to bring in. So we need to select other documents. Here it'll have a list. We want to go to My Onshape, and you can see up the top the seahorse that I brought in the previous tutorial. I'm going to select that seahorse, and it says main and start. Today I'm going to select start and then click on that seahorse again, and it's asking me to draw a rectangle. So it's going to ask me to draw where I want to drop it. To select where you want to drop it, you hold your finger on the page, you start your rectangle in the center. So don't start it anywhere else, you drag until your finger finds that center, you release, and then anywhere else you select the second time, you can see that's then going to be where the image drops. So I'm going to just drag the rectangle out so as close to that quadrant as I can. And that's my seahorse image that's been brought in. I haven't yet okayed it, so to actually select yes, I want to bring it in, I select tick. And now, if I pull out my sidebar again, I see sketch 1, which is now the seahorse. If I wanted to maybe delete that or do it again, if I wasn't happy with how I placed it, I find sketch 1 on the left, I click the 3 buttons, and I can either delete it, I can show the dimensions on it. I haven't placed any on it, so there won't be any yet. I can edit it, so I could possibly reduce the size. There it's just changing the view. If I wanted to get back to my top view, I select the cube up the top. And that's where you play with the settings. So let's add some dimensions on this. So the 3 dots on sketch 1, I need to edit it. So whenever I wanted to change something about it or add something into it, I need to edit that sketch. If you try to edit a different sketch, you won't be able to change the seahorse. So I've selected that. Now I'm going to go to the pencil again. I'm going to go all the way to the right. You see dimensions. I'm going to select dimensions, and I'm going to drag. So remember, you hold and drag, and I'm going to until I highlight that line. I'm going to release. Now it's set to inches at the moment, so it's saying that's about just over 2 inches wide. To change your default settings, I'll show you again. Up the top right, the 3 dots, top right of your Onshape page, you get units. We're going to click into units, and it's set to inch. We're going to change it to millimeter, and done. Now it's saying that it's about 51 millimeters. I'm going to change that to 50, so I'm just going to simply just single tap on that number, and I'm going to change it to 50 millimeters. Now, it will not let you change the proportion of this image, which we need to make sure we get an image that is appropriate. So if I've made it 50 millimeters wide, it will not let me change the length, because that would be altering the dimensions of the image, the proportion. I can try to change it, but when I click into that, it's grayed out, which means I cannot change it because I've already changed the top. If I didn't change the top to 50, I could have changed the length, but again, the proportion stays the same. So that just means when you bring your image into Onshape, it has to be proportional to the die plate. And I'll make more sense of that in a future tutorial. So I'm happy with 50 millimeters wide. I'm going to tick that. And in the following tutorial, I'll show you how to create a spline over the top of that seahorse image.